Hello, hello. It is Sharon Wilson, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia, Stampin' with Sharon. I hope you're going well. I am just checking that my iPad's showing me, and there's no audio coming out of my iPad, which is helpful. Good morning, Michelle. On my screen, I've got my my video for Facebook, and it's just black and looks like it's buffering, but I'm hoping that I'm actually all good and you can hear me and see me well and all the rest of it. It's just my computer that seems to be a bit, anyway. Just the studio thing of Facebook seems to be not quite right at the moment, but that's okay. Yay! Thank you. You can hear me and see me. Yay! Well, Friday again. Yay! Another Friday Facebook Live. Friday Fun Frivolity, as I like to call it, since I seem to make mistakes and have a bit of fun along the way. So today I want to share with you the, what is it? It is the Friendly Gnomes. Ooh, there we go. Friendly Gnomes stamp set. And so this one, they had the gnomes, kindness gnomes or something last year in the holiday catalogue, and they brought out the Friendly Gnomes this season, and the gnome dies, I believe, are still available. I may just have to double check that to make sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still available on the carryover list at the moment, and I believe that the dies actually coordinate with most of these stamps, so you can get more bang for your buck if you've already got the gnome dies. But yeah, I just thought I would show you a few projects. So 5 of them are not my original designs. They're Ronda Wade. She did them for something. So I've got, I've revamped it so they're actually more our sizes here in Australia with the A4 cardstock. And yeah, so I've just got the, yes, you can still get. Excellent, thank you. And so, yes, I've got 5 cards that I'm going to show you, and then I've got one that I haven't made yet, but will design as I go along the way. Oh, it's low inventory. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, that's not good. So if you really want the dies, it's better to get them right now before they sell out, and then you can't get them. I'm not sure if they're going to restock them or not. I think it's just going to be, once they're sold, they might be sold, but I don't know. They may carry over to the annual catalogue. I just don't know. Don't think they will. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I'm just going, no, I don't think they're going to carry over into the annual catalogue. But yeah, they're available right now because we have got stamps that will coordinate with them. So let me get down to my camera, my overhead camera, and hopefully I'm all good. There we go. And that one. Nope, yep, that one. Yes, that's me. Haha. So this is the stamp set that we're looking at today, and I did mark the page of where it's in the catalogue. It's that one, I believe. There we go. Yeah, the Friendly Gnomes. It's $42 in Australia. Yes, you can see that the 3 of the dies actually coordinate with these 3 gnomes, so that's helpful. The other stuff is all fussy cutting, but that's okay. It's not that hard to fussy cut, let's face it. It just takes a bit of patience. We've got the 2 Michelles. Yay! Hi. Yeah, so we're working with this one today, and also we're coordinating it with the Country Gingham DSP, Designer Series paper. And so this is all double-sided. You've got different colours on both sides, which is really fun. But we'll be using all those today. And using some ribbon, which is the Night of Navy bordered ribbon in here, and some linen thread and twine and stuff. So that's what we're using. Yep, I'm going to throw it on the ground, and I know I'm going to regret that. It's just part of the fun with me, isn't it? So we might start off with this one first, which is a bit of a fancy fold. So I've got all my little bits and pieces here. And I've already got my stamps all mounted, ready to go. So the frames we've used are the Fitting Florets frames, which you can get in the mini catalogue. Also the Stylish Shapes on other cards. I've used the Stylish Shapes dies. And there is one more. Oh, these ones. The Something Fancy dies. So they're like a tag sort of looking one. And they're pretty cute. I like using these ones because all these little bits actually fit in the little curves and stuff, which is pretty cool. I haven't used these ones as much, but I've used a lot of these. But all of them are really quite cool. So yeah, Something Fancy. They're definitely a staple that you need in your kit if you haven't already got it. All right, so I've got all my little bits and pieces ready to go. So I think I kept this the same length cardstock as what Ronda had. I'm just going to get out my little instructions because I make sure I make notes so then I know. And so, yes, I kept the length at 11 inches, but then I did use just the A4 width, so 21 centimetres it should be. If I have my ruler here, I do. So that should be, yes, so 10.5 centimetres across, which is, what, 4 and 1/8. 4 and 1/8 of an inch. However, I did actually score it as she suggested because I kept the length. Because I don't know about you, I always struggle with doing a gatefold in our A4 cardstock. I don't know, maybe it's just my brain. I just cannot do a proper gatefold with our our A4 cardstock. And so it just opens up like this, which is pretty cute. It's a very simple fancy fold, but it's yeah, it's just a bit different. So let's get working on that one. Whoop, move my mat. So, sorry, the score lines, that's what I was going to tell you, is 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. So 2 3/4 and then 8 1/4 inches. So inches for the length is 11 inches and it's 10.5 centimetres. So because I've done that, I've actually cut the cardstock in a similar vein. So this Night of Navy, I cut to, hang on, that'd be helpful if I actually remembered what it was. Oh, there it is. 3 5/8, 3 5/8 of an inch by 5 inches. You know what I could have done? I could have actually got my ruler, but I didn't. So 3 5/8 of an inch, and that's going to go there. But let's do this bit first. So we're going to glue this down. This is the front panel. Oops, I keep moving my mat this morning. And I've got another piece of Design Series paper, which I'm going to just pop in there. So this is the inside of the card. And I did have my Tombow. Yes, I do. There we go. So for the frame, I cut out a whole heap of frames for my last retreat and have kept them. And so I'm slowly going through them. So whenever I'm cutting out an oval, I don't worry about the outside bit now. I just make sure that the oval works. And so I'm saving a tiny bit of paper. So I had a smaller piece of basic white, and I was able to cut the 2 ovals out of that. So it was only just big enough for the 2 ovals, and so, which is good. It means I'm sort of saving a tiny bit, not much, but a bit. Ribbon. So this is the Night of Navy. What's it called? Night of Navy bordered ribbon. So that's really, really pretty. Nice to use as well. Nice to tie a bow with. So I'm just going to tie the bow around here. Just like that. And I'm going to adhere that on there. I'll use my seal. And so you want to just line that up. Like that. Alright, so stamping. I'm going to pull out my foam mat because we've got dimensionals. We've got photopolymer stamps. We haven't actually got the red rubber with it, so I'm just going to give it some extra cushioning. Underneath here, I don't know if I think I mentioned it last week, my daughter's got some jigsaw puzzle pieces, so I've got this border all the way around here, and it's just, I definitely can't stamp on there. I'll be going wonky all the time. Alright, so stamps. Let me find the one I want, not those ones. It's that one. So I did stamp in Memento in this card, but I'm going to stamp in Night of Navy. And I'm pretty sure I did not clean. So let's just do that quickly. Because I made these all yesterday. Alright. So Night of Navy. And we're just going to stamp him in the centre. Stamp him centre-ish. And then we've got our blends that we're going to colour in. So there's a fair bit of colouring in this one. So you could probably use watercolour pencils or blends or whatever other colour medium you'd like to. The other one I'm going to stamp is that one. There's Gnome One Better. You gotta love a good pun, hey? Yep. And then this is just going to glue onto the inside over that panel. So it's quite a narrow panel to what I would normally do, but I don't mind that. Alright, so colouring. So as I said, it's lots of blends today. So you can see all my blends that I've got going on. And I've worked out one of my, I think it's my Balmy Blue. My light one, I think. Oh no, light's okay. Maybe it's the dark. Yeah, the dark is really is a bit dodgy, so I've got to order another one of them. So rather than the navy, rather than the Balmy Blue, I'm actually just going to pull in some navy, Night of Navy for colouring the hat. And then the centre of the flower as well. And I'm actually going to be doing some one-day events moving forward, so about 3-4 times a year, that's my retreat, but then also I've got my 2 retreats, and then I've also got the I'm going to have a class as well. So, and that's my first one is going to be on the 11th of March. I'm just thinking, hang on, is that someone's birthday? So the one-day event's only going to be, it's going to be in Sydney, so it's not going to be, it's going to be in Sydney, around this area, in the hills area of Sydney, and it's going to be from 10 till 4. So, yes, that's what I was thinking as I said it. I thought it was your birthday, Michelle. I did think about that as when I said the date and you were here. It's like, I think that's your birthday. So thank you for the reminder. Colouring can be so relaxing, and then it can also be quite stressful if you haven't got the right colours. But I'm okay with these colours, so I might just bring a bit more navy in there for a bit more definition of the coat. Let's try and blend those colours a tiny bit more. There we go, that'll do. Okay, dimensionals. Scissors. So this one, there we go, and then I've got some of these rhinestones. Now these are called, what are these called? These are called the Enamel Dot Essentials pack, and there's 3 colours. It's it looks like it's navy, crumb cake, and basic white. I've struggled a bit more with getting these off with my take your pick tool. I think they're very strong in their adhesive. Ah, now they're stuck. Hang on. Let's see if I can get it off. Well, I'm not doing too well with these at the moment. No. Let's flip you over. Over. There you go. Okay. Let's put him there. Oh, there we go. All right. Yes, they are stuck down. So there you go. There's the first one. And so it's very, as I said, a cute little fancy fold card, or a fun fold. Right, so that's card number 1. Let's move that one out of the way. And card number 2, I think we'll go with this little guy. So, putting in that one. I think it is that one. That's that one. Have I frozen? No, I'm all good. Okay. My iPad's freezing. and not in a good way. All right, so we have the fancy and the square, and so this card base is actually a bit smaller. So this one is, if we go with inches, it's 5.5. I think it's 8.5. Yeah, 5.5 by 8.5. Fold in half, so it is 5.5 by 4.25 inches. The basic white layer is 4 by 5.25. And I'll leave that one for the moment. I won't stick that down. We'll do a bit of stamping first. So we have an umbrella, not an umbrella, a balloon. Haha. It's not an umbrella. Oh, I know what I didn't bring over. Maybe I did. There was a little mask I created yesterday for his hand. Okay, hang on. So, I'll just create a mask as well. Which is the same one? That's the same one. Okay, so let's get the black. I'll stamp him on this little piece. And then we just want to get his hand really, but we'll do his whole body. And all we really need is, we just need the this little section here cut out. What are you all doing today? Are we working and just listening to me while we're working? Okay. So I've got that little mask, so I'm just going to lay that over the top. I'm going to ink up my balloon. And then when I go to stamp, it'll leave a little bit out. So it looks like he's holding it. So you can keep that mask in the stamp set, so then you don't lose it. Alright, so the next one is wishing you the most magical of birthdays. Oh, morning, Amanda. Long time no see. Alright, so I want some mint macaron. There you go, those two. Some of the skin tone. I might go with a bit of ivory. And a bit of smoky slate. There you go. And let's colour in the flowers. Did I colour in the flowers of the other one? That's the question. I didn't. Look at that. I forgot to colour in the flowers. I'll have to do him in a second. Just part of the fun. And so these are Orchid Oasis, this one. It's very dark, and so when something's a bit too dark for you, I actually bring in the colour lifter just to lighten it slightly. And so all I really do is I sort of just push the ink through. It basically pushes the ink through the other side a bit more. And so let's go a bit of ivory for his nose and his face. The hands always look like they've got gloves on it, but let's just go with this. And just accentuate his beard a tiny bit as well. Smoky slate for his feet, his shoes. And then we're going to go mint macaron for his hat. I'm actually just going to colour him straight rather than trying to do a bit of accents on the shading. And then I can just do some light mint macaron for his coat. There we go. Those ones away. Alright, so I'm going to use dimensionals here. And, oh, I want that on there first. Oops. Let's just pop them down a bit. So I want to put that just above, so it becomes one piece. Oh, I can't stick that down yet, can I? No. Alright, I'm going to set him aside. This one. So I've got the design series paper. You just want to lay them in the places that you want them to be. And then once you've got the distance of where you want them to sit, then you can glue them all down. And hope that they're straight. Let's try about there. Just like that. And then dimensionals again. How am I going for time? It's 10:30. I feel like I'm a bit slower today. Maybe it's the colouring. And then stick that one down. And then tie a knot tie a bow with your... so this is the Essential Baker's Twine. The Essential Baker's Twine pack, I think it's called. You get 5 different colours in it. So what you want to do is you actually want to fold it in half, and we're just going to do 2 layers of it. And then trim off the excess. Get a couple of glue dots, or a glue dot. I actually used liquid glue yesterday when I was doing it, and that seemed to work quite well too. I just used a little dot, just a small dot. Okay, so there's the second card. It's quite cute. I forgot the centre bits again. What is wrong with me? What am I looking for this one? So if I bring this other card back in, I'm just going to use Smoky Slate. There we go. That looks a bit better. All right, card number 3. Card number 3 is this guy here. So Valentine's Day is next week. So you could make a Valentine's card for the love of your life. Or someone lovely in your life. Alright, standard size card, this one. Standard A5, folded in half. And the gingham paper. You've got some linen thread. And all I've done is just wrap it around 3 times around the scallop. So yeah, this is the other one. I forgot about this one. So the contour, scallop contours, I think it's called. That's not going to work. Let's bring it over this side of the card. Trim that bit off, and dimensionals again, pop it up because we're not doing any stamping on this one. One more in the center, and that's just going to sit about there. Alright, so the basic white, this is a card panel, so the insert, so that you can write on the card, or write in the card. Alright, so we have the, we need to stamp the bird, and we need to stamp Love You. Where's that one? There it is. And then we've got the little gnome with the heart. Where is he? There he is. So with some sweet sorbet, I'm just going to stamp the Love You. It doesn't matter if it's upside down because I'm cutting that one out. And I'm going to stamp the bird with the basic black, which I put somewhere and I can't see. There it is. There's the memento. Oh, I dropped something. I think it was the leftover sheet of dimensionals. Alright. Keep that one. Oh, stamping the bird on there. Sorry. Stamp the bird on here. It's alright. Now I've got an extra. And we want to stamp this dude towards the bottom. I haven't got my foam mat. That's okay. Let's bring my foam mat back in while I colour. Alright, so lots of colours again this time with this one. So we've got the mint macaron, those two. So I'll do a bit of dark first. Maybe I should have gone through and coloured some of these so then you weren't having to watch me colour. But maybe you want to watch me colour. Might need to get another mint macaron blend as well. And then I needed petal pink, but I actually don't have petal pink. So I've just used pale papaya on this. I didn't realise I didn't have petal pink. But that's okay, it'll go on my next list. Go on my next order. And then we'll just use some crumb cake. I tend to use the smaller end. Do you use the smaller, which end do you normally use of your blend? I tend to use my smaller end because I feel like I've got a bit more control. How about you? Is that what you do too? Alright, so then I want my ivory again and just colour in his nose. I might actually try and push some of that through. You use both? Yeah, no, mostly I'm using just the ivory. I want ivory here. Yeah. Like I'm using, I'm just using the thick end then, but usually I'm using the thinner end. I just find I've got more control, and so that helps me. Helps me when I'm colouring. Well, that's true. Yeah, if it's a bigger area, I probably would use the thick end, but then let's face it, I don't actually do a lot of colouring of big things. If I can help it, I won't. And then we might just get the smoky slate, tiny bit of that, just to enhance his beard a bit. There we go. And our little bird, I was going to do pool party. There you go, light pool party. Isn't she cute? There you go. And then with our little love you, just cut it out. I'm trying to keep a bit of a tidier desk today. See how long it lasts. Alright. 2 dimensionals. more to the left. And just a bit of Tombow. And then dimensionals. Onto this card. And then my rhinestones. Let's see if I can get them this time. What are they called? They're not rhinestones, are they? What are they called again? Enamel dots. Get the name right, Sharon. There we go. Third card done. Alright, 3 more. Only halfway. Hopefully it goes a bit quicker. We'll see. Alright, this one is this card here. So pretty simple sweet sorbet cardstock. And we've used the timber embossing folder for crumb cake cardstock. Oh, a bit too quick. You could probably use liquid glue, the Tombow liquid glue. And then a small panel onto the front to the left. And then I've got 2 bits of stamping. And while I'm here, I'm just going to quickly tie a bow. No, that didn't work. Try that again. Yeah, so these 5 cards are designed by Ronda Wade in the US. Not mine. Not my original designs. There you go. There's that one. Alright, so we want to do the love you and our little guy with the heart again. And I'm doing the love you onto crumb cake. Oops, I need that. We're going to do him in Memento, and we want to lift him up a bit, and then we want to bring over our grass. Alright, so then we get our blends out again. I really should have coloured some of these in beforehand. Granny apple green for the grass. And then granny apple green for his, what he's wearing. Ivory. This one. Let's go this one. This is one of the neutrals. Dark crumb cake for his shoes. And then light crumb cake for his hat. I'm going to try and be a bit quicker if I can. Oh, I was meant to do blue. Look at that. I'm just going to go back over the top of his pants. And then just his beard again. Let's go. Right. Dimensionals. Have I got enough for this part? And stick him down there. My scissors. I've actually trimmed off. I cut too wide a piece of crumb cake. And a bit of Tombow down the bottom here. And a mini glue dot. About there. There we go. I'm not going to embellish it right now. But you can see the embellishments on that one. Alright, this is the last one from Ronda. And this one's a simple card. So just using some offcuts, and I think just the colours together is pretty cool. I love the colours together. So basic white. You've got your 4 different colours. So I'm going to start with the green, and we'll do the blue, we'll do that one, we'll do that one. So let's start with the green first. About that, not that one, this one. There we go. The baker's twine. I'm just going to tie them together. I'll fold them over and then just tie them at the same time. Hopefully. Now I think I might just do a knot. Make it a bit simpler, a bit more straightforward. And then, where is she? There she is. And spring. And we want crumb cake ink. So spring is everywhere, though not in Australia. Not in Australia right now. Spring's everywhere else, on the other side of the world. Okay, so mint macaron. There we go. Do her hat in just dark. Trying to avoid the flower. So tempting just to colour her blue and make her into a Smurf. No, that side. I think I need new blends of my mint macaron. Pale papaya for the centre of her tunic. And then I've got dark pale papaya for her sleeves. Light crumb cake for her shoes. And then a bit of dark crumb cake in her hair. What do you think of this one, this little girl? And we'll just colour in the flower all blue. Alright, dimensionals. I've lost my dimensional box. Where's that? In there. Oh. So I've used up all my dimensionals. Here we go. Alright, this one. And then 2 for this one. So these are from the Stylish Shapes, these dies. There you go. And then just pop some dimensionals. I thought I'd finished. And thought, oh, maybe I stuck that upside down. Thankfully I didn't. Alright, this one. And again, I'll embellish it a bit later. But you get the idea. Alright, last one. So this is the one that's mine that I haven't... Oh, sit up a bit straighter. I've sort of had an idea of what I want to do, but haven't done it yet. So I've got a piece of Petal Pink, piece of Designer Series paper with Petal Pink from the same pack again. Stick that one on the inside. I've actually just folded it in half and then just chopped off to about 5.5 centimetres. So this panel is 5.5 centimetres. I've used basic white and before I stick that down, I'm going to do some linen thread. I've actually used the Stripes and Splotches, I think it's called. Here you go. Yeah, Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folder, which is actually in the annual catalogue. So I've used that for this panel. I'm going to leave this, I think, fairly simple, this panel here. And then I have a piece of Calypso Coral, which is 16 centimetres by 9 centimetres folded in half. And then I've got a couple of pieces of the, oh, hang on, missing a couple of pieces. Hang on, where are they? Oh no, I had another piece. Yeek. Okay, I'm not sure where that's gone. I have to have a look. So this is going to be the front. So I'm actually doing it upside down, so it's a bit of a fancy fold card, and I should have stamped on this, but I haven't. Oh no, maybe I'll put it away. Hang on, no. No. I've lost a piece. Crikey. It's definitely not in the envelope I thought I had. Okay, so I'm going to trim a piece of basic white down. Ugh. I don't know where it went. It disappeared. Okay, so it's 9. There. That's the inside bit. I did have a piece of designer series paper to go underneath, but that's gone. Let's just stick with this. So I want to stamp on here, or better yet, let's go with a bit of we'll do some flowers and some of the grass. And I think we're going to use this piece. We'll use this lovely lady. But we'll cut her out. Once we colour her in. So that's going to sit in like that. Just got to work out where I want him to go, where I want it to go. Should I go up a tiny bit? Then it'll be about above the twine, which is what I want. So let's go right there. Then let's go with some Pool Party. And this is where I usually run into trouble because I'm not quite sure about what colours I should use all the time. So that one is Dark Pool Party. Oh, they've got 2 Dark Pool Parties. There you go. They look different. There's my light. And then if I pull in, where is my Calypso? I've actually got some Calypso coral. Hey Cheryl, how are you going? Where's my dark? There it is. My dark crumb cake. And her face. There we go. And then I'll bring over my mini machine. I have my little mini machine, and this one I'm just going to use the, I'm hoping, now that I've done that, otherwise I might be fussy cutting. She's going to get cut out with that die there. And so we had a bit of training on this. We had a bit of training on this week on the mini cut, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So when you're doing your lining up, what they've said is actually you need to create an E. So we've always heard staggering and stuff, but you actually want to create an E when it comes to this machine. So you can actually see that the middle plate is actually further in. So you want to make an E is what they say. So a good little tip. But this machine you can actually get as part of your starter kit when you join my team. It's $210 to join if you want to include this mini machine or the boho blue mini machine, and you get $315 worth of product included in that amount. Whoop, don't lose it. Yeah, so you could actually get what am I looking for? Let's go that one. Yeah, so it's a great deal right now during celebration, only till the end of February 2023. You can get that deal. Sorry, I'm struggling to concentrate while colouring in. Yeah, so there's a fabulous joining special on right now, and I'd love to welcome you into my team. I might just go Pool Party, I think. Where's my one here? Oh, no. Yeah, so the joining special, $210, and you get $315 worth of product included in that. Plus, you get the Stampin' Cut, the mini Stampin' Cut emboss machine included in that price. Or if you don't want the mini Stampin' Cut emboss machine, you can actually just pay $169, which is the normal price, and you get $315 worth of product. I put my dimensionals down somewhere again. Let's just find some new ones. So yeah, it's a fabulous offer right now. There's also the great offer of just buying $90 worth of product and getting an item for free. That's good. That's really good too. I love that option. Let's go there. So she's sort of standing amongst the grass. Alright, so then I think I'll do that one, but which one do I do? Spring is everywhere. Let's go spring is everywhere. And my black. Let's go slightly off because we can. Okay. Oh, no, we can't. We can't do that. No, can't do that. Do you know why? Because then it just doesn't open properly. We could do it off that way, but then I've got dimensionals already there. Let's just... Oh. Let's go down the bottom. I don't think I mucked up that much. Alright, so that's my last one. Oh my. Lots of fun happening today. Just clear the table, clear the desks. Alright, so here are my cards from today. So this one here, which I think is actually pretty cute. Now that I've done it. It might need something up here or something, I don't know. But I do love the splatter embossing folder. That's quite cute. So then you've got those two, which I made one of them today. That one, that one, that one, and that one. So these, oops, sorry, off the screen. These 5 were from Ronda Wade, as I said. She's in the US, US demonstrator. And then I've just created this one as mine. So 6 lovely cards using the Friendly Gnomes stamp set. And it's, yeah, really, really pretty. So pretty. Oh, picture and picture off. There you go. Bit of a rookie error. Thank you for joining me today. It's always a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun stamping. It is celebration right now. Celebration ends in, what is it? 18 days. 18 days and celebration will be finished. It is a great time to join, as I've said. Fabulous offer is happening right now. It's also a great time to shop because you get to get a free item with purchase. So that's always great. With a $90 spend or a $180 spend, you can choose different things. The Stampin' Up! Have released some more product that you can choose as well. So if you've got everything already in the celebration catalogue, then why not choose something else that's actually in the annual catalogue that you haven't got? So there's designer series paper, there's I can't remember what else. But the other things is I've got my retreat coming up in April, the 14th to the 17th of April. I still have a few spots available. If you'd like to join us, feel free to comment and I can give you some details on that. And there's also, I'm holding a one-day event, a creative escape is what I'm calling it, and it's going to be 10 till 4 on Saturday the 11th of March, which is Michelle's birthday. And if she comes, there might even be something special for her. We might do a cake. It'll be a great day of learning new techniques and doing lots of make and takes. We'll be using the He's the Man bundle. No, He's All That bundle. And the Brewed for You bundles. So using 2 bundles that day, we'll be doing at least 15 make and takes, probably 2 of each throughout the day. And there's also a couple of optional classes which I will offer as well. But if you're interested in that, that's on my on this Stampin' with Sharon Facebook page as well. And yeah, and yes, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can go over there and go Stampin' with Sharon AU, and that's that should take you to my channel as well. I'd love to, that way you don't miss out on all of the different videos that I am posting on YouTube. So I think that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining me. It has been a bit longer than I usually do, but we did 6 cards, so yay, that's good. And they weren't simple, easy cards either. They were a bit more involved because there was lots of colouring. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Bye.